An artist, uh, influencer. You know what I mean? It's the name of the game. It's just like content. See what works, and then using ads and then marketing to kind of push that content that's doing good organically. But it's a lot. It's a lot. This week specifically, it was harder. It was like, I don't know. It's just, and it ebbs and flows. Some weeks it's like, okay, I have some good ideas that I could put together and stuff, and let me do these things. But then sometimes it's like this week, it was kind of a little bit hard to like make my content for the week, because I mean, on top of that, I do work a job, so it's like after that, having to like sit down and then do that on my computer, it's challenging, and it's hard work. It's hard work, but this is what I do. This is what I love. This is my passion. So it's like, if you really do love it, you'll put in the work, and that's I reached that point where I kind of like, okay, like, cause everyone has like, friends or whatever and stuff, or knows people that wanted to do like maybe creative things and stuff like that, but like they never really got off the ground. Yeah. And really never really made anything of it, because it's hard work. It's work like anything else. But it's been a while since I realized to myself, okay, I'm a for lifer for this thing. You know what I mean? Like, I do this for life. This is like what I was meant to do. This is my purpose. So, I just got to do the work.
How did you get involved in it? Like, what was the moment where you're like, all right, I'm going to do this. This is who I'm going to be. This is what I want to do.
So I started off being a videographer from my buddy Conscience, Kyle Hartler Road. Shout out to him, if he sees this. So I started off doing that, and I remember the first time that I approached him. I think one of the first time I approached him was like, when I say, hey, like, because I think he had printed out CDs and stuff and this is like in the 11th grade. He had printed out some CDs, and I don't know how I knew that he was a musician and stuff, but I think I'd seen him passing out CDs. So I had gotten one from him, and I listened to it, and I liked it. And I don't know at what point I kind of like had some interest in becoming like a videographer and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, like, this is who I am. I want to do a music video for you. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. So then eventually we get around to doing the first music video, which leads to more music videos and stuff. And really, like, he kind of introduced me to like his friends of other musicians and stuff. And I had aspirations for music as well. I like, for a lot of creative things that I have aspirations for. But for a while, I was just kind of sitting back, and I wasn't sure of like what I wanted to do. And then so really my video editing experience kind of came before music making experience.
You didn't have any knowledge of any instrument. You didn't play any instrument before?
I played the cello.
Did you really? I didn't know that.
Nice.
Yeah, I still have it. As moldy and as broken down as it is. I still have it, but like my mom refuses to let it go.
Yeah, well, no.
I like keeping it around. Maybe one day I'll have to like refurbish it or something. But yeah, I used to play cello. Like elementary, I guess you could say.
How many years did you study?
not enough, because I think I was forced to take it, because for the school that I was in,
You had to take a music.
you had to take a music class, right? And you're either in the orchestra or the band. And for some reason, the band seemed kind of lame. That's no disrespect to band players, but I really kind of like the orchestra. I like strings and stuff. So I decided to go with cello. And I mean, I haven't picked it up since I stopped taking that class, but I do love strings like a lot. Like out of all the variety of instruments, I love strings the most still to this day. So I started off with that, and then maybe that was sort of like the beginnings of me liking music, and how it plays a part in my story and my life. And but it depends on how far you want to go back, because there's that, and then there's the times where like I really say I really attribute my like music making and my love for music from my mom, because like when I was a baby and stuff, she was home with us kids, and she'd be cleaning and stuff, and she'd be playing like Rocio Ducal. I don't know if you know, but I can always remember her playing those type of songs and stuff, and really like it was just like, you only have a few memories when you're a kid, when you were a baby and stuff like that, and those are one of the few, like, memories that I have when I was like small.
Well, like Sunday cleaning music.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that you say cleaning, because it's literally like her vacuuming or something, and
crying.
No, I wasn't crying. I was in awe. My mom was just singing. She was just singing along with Rocio Dulcal, and I was just like chilling on the floor while she was vacuuming.
Your mom had a really good voice.
Yeah, no, she does. And again, that's where like that kind of like where I attribute my talent, I guess you could say, and like that sort of thing. And I feel like I get it, from my mom. Every parent wants to say that they get it from themselves or whatever, but I mean, my mom can sing really good, and I think like I'm not the best singer in the world by any shot, but my skill, I think, for singing especially comes from my mom, I would say. But yeah, I mean, going back to what we were talking about before, so after doing a couple of music videos, and I think this was like probably like 2011, my stepdad, Vince, shout out to Vince, if he's watching, him and my mom had actually gotten me like my first laptop and my first MIDI controller. I don't know if you know what a MIDI controller is and stuff, but it's basically like, whenever you're using like VSTs, virtual instruments and stuff, that's sort of the thing that you use to play that sort of thing, right? So I got that, and like at first it was hard for me, like, reasonably so. It was hard for me to like kind of like learn how to do that, learn how to use the controller, learn how to use a DAW, which is like a digital audio workshop, like Ableton, like Studio One, and so when I got it, it was a little bit hard to learn, but eventually I got around to like learning how to do it. And then I think it was in 2018, when I released my first album. Now that took like many years. That album was years and years in the making, and so that was like the first thing.
How old were you when it came out?
So 2018. I'm 27 now. It's 2023. I was never good at math. I was never.
Okay.
Maybe. It's funny.
It's 5 years ago.
It's 5 years ago.
So you're 22.
It's funny you say that, because like whenever we do the Swetz and Steve show, that and we get stuck and we need to like learn, we need to know some fact or something. I'm so used to saying, Mickey, can you help me out? And Mickey's my sister. Or it's like, Mickey, can you help us out? Look this up, Mickey. And like, she's like, so like,
Mickey, what's 5 years ago? How long ago was 5 years ago?
How long ago was 2018? When you look at it,
Starts going into deep math for it and all that.
Yeah, but
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
but yeah, so that was like my first album, and then really, it's really just like when it comes, because actually, I get asked a lot, like, how do you make music? And I've thought about that a lot, and it's like, it's kind of hard to explain, But what I would say is that if you spend time around something and you dedicate time around something and like you're committed to it, not saying that you have to know everything like in a certain amount of time, but if you like what your time matters. So whatever you spend time around the most, eventually you'll learn it. As subjective as making music can be, the more that you spend time with something, the more that you'll know and you'll be able to learn. But yeah, so that was my first album that I made, 2018. What's
the name of that album?
A Place Beyond the Noise. A Place Beyond the Noise. And there was, I feel like a lot that was it's out. Now, granted, it wasn't like there were some problems with it, but I mean, that's okay. Everyone starts from somewhere, and you only get better as you go on.
Have you seen our first episode?
Yeah. Did you not hear the noise that just came through the headset right now? Kind of Mickey Mouse program we got running over here, huh?
Yeah. No, exactly.
The whole year last year having audio issues and lighting and all this.
No, that could be really frustrating.
We're better off signing the entire damn thing.
Yeah, but no, that's that you make a good point there. But I mean, you guys have taken it like to a whole other level. I mean, we were just talking before the show, like about all the equipment that you got set up and everything. It's really nice in here, man. SOS. 3 cheers for SOS. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. But anyway, we were talking about it was called A Place Beyond the Noise. And, there was the actual production of it, but then there was like a lot of the writing behind it and the lyrics and stuff. And I feel that a lot of that, and more so the stuff of, like the music that I make that has more meaning to it and stuff up until now has been kind of slept on, as opposed to some of my more popular stuff, which a lot of people like. Clean Boy is a fan favorite that people like from me, and like
that's what I know you more for.
Yeah. And you see me now. Obviously, I'm not like
Clean.
Wait a minute. Well, you're right. I'm not as clean. George just took a shower. George, can I take a shower right now? Yeah, but yeah, like, so all that to say is kind of like, obviously I'm different. I have a wonderful new pair of shades.
Yeah.
That I didn't have when I was doing Clean Boy. And all I'm saying is that there is meaning behind that. There is meaning behind that. Like there is meaning to all the songs off this new album while I'm asleep. And yeah, there's a story behind it. There's a story behind it, and like it's been interesting to see how people have reacted to it and stuff. And it's really kind of it's a new direction. It's a new direction, but it's one that I've been wanting to go in for a while, And yeah, I like meaning. I think a lot of people like meaning, because there's kind of like, I was thinking of some sort of analogy that I could use. But like, because I mean, with like, when it comes to like meaning, I mean, because like if you think about when someone commits a crime or something like that, or like, like, I don't know if it's like, not to go too dark or anything about that, but like say if there's a school shooting or something like that, or something kind of like more heinous and like kind of evil, the first thing that people will go to and they ask is like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the meaning of things is like pretty important. And actually like kind of like the when it comes to certain things, the absence of meaning is also a thing that is curious to think about. But all that to say is that pay attention because the songs that I put out for this new album have meaning. And I don't know if you got a chance to look at any of the narrative videos that I put out.
Not yet. No.
I catch them every once in a while on
Okay.
TikTok,
Hey, you put them on IG too. Sometimes.
I put them on IG. I cut them up into to reels and stuff like that. But the full videos are on my YouTube, and those also have a meaning behind the story for this new album as well. So far, there is M is for multiverse, and E is for enterprise. And even in E and for enterprise, you could see the, what people might typically know as, the old Swetz, you know what I mean?
Who's the old Swetz?
The old Swetz, so that's the thing. I don't want to give away all the secret sauce, but the old Swetz, I would say, is like, well, maybe it's not the old Swetz. Maybe it's not the old Swetz. It's a different Swetz.
Like a new pair? Or?
What's that?
Like a new pair?
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. You're right. A pair of sweats. Because when I first created like the name and stuff, and like kind of like thought of because my original artist name was gonna be so lame. You know, it's gonna be Luck E.
Man.
Luck E,
No.
because my name's Luke. My real name is Luke.
Okay.
Luck E.
Okay.
And it turns out Lucky is taken anyway on Spotify. I'm like, fuck.
So it was a blessing in disguise anyway.
Yeah, no, right, really. No, I actually could tell you where I got the name Swetz. That's important to know, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that as well.
Yeah. I just assumed it was from like sweaty gameplay. That was about it.
No.
I think Swetz works.
No, yeah. I got Swetz. The origin story of the name Swetz came from, I think it was like, again, like in the 11th, 12th grade, is you can notice a lot of this stuff is like years in the making. But there was this guy that would just like fuck with me. He'd really just mess with me for no reason. One time I bumped into him, like, and then like, I guess we around the same period, after lunch or something like that, we would always cross paths. So this one time I bumped into him unintentionally, and then he thought I was trying to mess with him or whatever. So like for like the months that followed, whenever he'd see me in the hall, he'd just like say shit to me. You know what I mean? I was like, I wasn't really that confrontational of a guy. But then one time when he was crossing my path or whatever, he said, "Hey, what's up, Swetz?" And then from there, I was like, it was one of those moments. It's the moment in the movie where, the hero gets his name. You know what I mean? And like when he said that.
Or villain.
Yeah, I was going to say villain.
That's true.
Yeah, I was thinking villain too. Yeah.
Probably villain at this point, because he's probably looking at Dewey like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah,
That's a cool ass name, but fuck you.
No, I actually told him to go fuck off. Like soon after that, and then he left me alone.
It's like a villain origin story.
No, that's right. I'm the hero, George. I'm not the villain.
I don't know about that. Your origin story says different.
Yeah.
There, you got me questioning things now.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, I don't know.
we do here.
You'd
That's
want to
what
be the hero?
I want to be the hero.
Really?
Maybe he's the anti-hero.
I used to want to be the hero. Being the villain's way more fun.
Really?
fun.
Why do you say that?
It's just more fun, dude. Like you can. There's no rules.
That's
Dude,
true.
that's like a restriction-free diet. You
But-
can eat what you want. You can do what you want.
Are villains all that bad?
No, they're
Sometimes they have really like viable whys. Like very, very justified wise.
There was a thing that I saw that essentially the hero and the villain are almost the same person, but they have different stories.
Yeah, it's
like,
just the way they deal with the same story. You
Yeah.
know, it's like they have like similar origins. They're like they go through something traumatic, or they're orphaned, or something.
Yeah.
And it's like the hero takes that and does great with it, and the villain is like
he pulls it
"Fuck
inward
this."
to transform himself, whereas the villain pushes it outward
yeah.
to inflict it on everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
difference.
almost I feel like Magneto and Professor X are a prime example.
Yeah.
About hero and the villain, both after the same thing, but just a different method.
Although I don't think Professor X went through Auschwitz or anything like that.
I lost my parents, Charles. I lost my parents. I saw them getting
So did Batman, but you don't see him bitching about it.
I lost my legs, damn it. I lost my legs.
Well, I lost my parents. So. Well, at least you could walk to their funeral.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Although I do want to be the hero, because I mean, the hero, I guess you could say. Well, what's that one? That one quote from The Dark Knight? Either die a hero,
or you live long enough to become the villain.
Do you think that's true?
Yes.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I absolutely think.
Look at Killmonger. Look at Thanos. Very justified.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the way they handle it is different.
Dang.
And even to a certain extent, like with Killmonger, like I kind of wish he didn't die off like that. At least in the MCU. Kind of wish he didn't die off like that, because like I hate to say it, I kind of feel for him on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, dang, why you got me messed up now, George? I'm thinking I'm the villain now. I want to be the hero.
He's gonna have an existential crisis.
Welcome to SOS.
Yeah, that's what you do to all your guests, to make them feel like the villain.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was the story of where I got Swetz from. I mean, I guess we could kind of talk more about like my origins, I guess, which we kind of already talked about already.
Dude, I feel like since we're talking about that, if you ever get a chance to, you should make comic book strips for your album, like an origin story, and just like almost like the Spider-Man walking away from the suit, kind of the comic strip. You ever see that one?
Yeah.
Where he stops being Spider-Man. And he dons the black suit or some shit.
Or
like
he's
that,
just like a different pair of sweats.
Yeah.
I don't wear sweats religiously. It's funny.
Cool.
It's funny that you mentioned that too, is because like when I was first creating Swetz, right? I had said to myself, okay, so this is me, because I liked wearing sweats. There's nothing really deep about it. I just like wearing. I was comfy.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, so and I am assuming that's why that guy who's messing with me called me Swetz, because I wore it so much. But it's like when I was creating it, like, and what I would look like, I'd be like, okay, so this means like I'm only gonna wear sweats, right? Like I'm not gonna wear anything else. That soon, like I was like, no, fuck that, because it gets hot. You know, I get hot and I get really sweaty. You know, and so like. Hence, I'm wearing shorts right now, and it's like how many degrees out? It's like it's really sunny out right now.
It's like 77 degrees out.
Yeah,
you can't
I'm not wearing sweats during that.
You're gonna have sweaty balls. Sweaty balls.
Sweats balls.
You're gonna have sweats.
Sweats.
If you get
You don't want sweats.
Sweats.
that's your
Sweaty
Sweats
ass.
and swamp ass.
yeah.
Sweaty ass.
That's your
My arch
sidekick.
nemesis?
No, it's your sidekick.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Sweats.
Sweats and swalls.
Yeah.
Sweats and sweats.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Your arch nemesis will be Dr. Chafe.
You're getting, so I need a pen and paper so I can write this down.
And Dr. Chafe has always rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And if I use this, I don't owe you any royalties, right, Carlos? We're family, right?
No. I'm still waiting on my free shirt. I'm still waiting on my free shirt.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll see. Whenever I got new merch coming out, so maybe I'll give you some of that stuff.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, and I guess you can't really talk about my origin story without obviously the glasses. The glasses has probably been like the biggest thing that kind of like obviously people notice whenever, you know, I'm, you know, in my zone or whatever, and I'm putting out content and stuff, and they have meaning. They have meaning. You know, it's not just like, you know, a lot of the thing that I hear a lot the most that is like, well, I can't take you seriously because of your glasses, you know, but that's intentional. It's intentional, you know, cause you know, I'll kind of give you my philosophy with, you know, who I am, not only as an artist, but who I am as a person. Right. You know, they say the eyes are the gateway to the soul. If you look into my eyes, what do you see?
I see 2 white dots.
right. But I guess that kind of goes into like when I first created what I wanted to look like, I was heavily inspired by like cartoons and like really like Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah, that's one. But really like all like yeah. But it was basically like this. I mean, cartoons are, I mean, they're made up obviously, but like, they're sort of like, they have like, it's like these characters, whatever, that are in unreality, and like, they're kind of like not serious basically. And basically it's like, I wanted something when I created Swetz, is like, I wanted a symbol to not take life so seriously, because like in a way a lot of it's just like a game, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that, you know, you shouldn't like have goals or have beliefs and stuff that you believe in, but it's like, it's, you know, eventually we all meet the same, you know, sort of like we all have our day to die, you know what I mean? And so it's like it's kind of like a mix of like look beyond the surface level to look deeper, and then to also like not take life so seriously and just kind of like, you know,
have fun with it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And it's kind of like there. I mean, maybe there is people out there that, you know, that have heard my music and say, oh, you know, I like your songs, but I can't take you seriously with the glasses. They may not be necessarily the person that I want to have listen to my music, because it's really about looking below the surface and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, because if you listen to like, especially a lot of my more like recent stuff, like it is kind of more serious music, you know what I mean, with some of the lyrics involved. And then especially, you know, if you know me personally, like, you know about some of the subtext behind some of those songs as well. And that's very much intentional, because I want people to kind of look past the surface level and look deeper, you know what I mean? But I think I like what I'm doing right now, and I like the story that I'm telling, and, you know, and yeah, I like that, you know, the people like the music as well, and that a lot of people are supporting me, much like SOS Podcast right here.
I will admit, when you first walked in and I didn't see you with the glasses on, it was a little jarring, because I've always been used to seeing you with the glasses.
yeah, a lot of
like
people,
even though we've talked a lot offline, but like nonetheless, like it was a little jarring, because I was like, oh shit!
Seeing someone like
that's not Swetz. That's Luke.
Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What did you gave up his secret identity?
Well, he did earlier.
No, I did.
Yeah, he did. He already blew it.
Yeah, slowly as the years have gone by, like, and I've hung around a lot more people and been introduced to a lot more people. Like, yeah, like they obviously, when you get to know somebody, like, you're not gonna know every single thing about somebody when you first like get to know them or first meet them. But as the years go by, like, it's like yeah, I mean, I don't really like, it's cool, you know, if people like know like my real name and stuff, you know. But yeah, it's,
who's the artist that inspires you most?
I mean, like in general, or for like what I'm doing right now?
Let's go both.
For in general, I would say like the greats, like the ones that have a lot of presence. You know what I mean? More specifically, like
Michael,
yeah, Michael, Elvis, James Brown,
Prince.
Fuck yeah. I really I really take inspiration from the grades because, like, you know, as dumb as it may sound, you know, I'm a nobody, okay, but
You're somebody. Don't say that. You're somebody.
Right. Well, thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. But I want to be, you know, in my own way. I want to be a great. You know what I mean? You know, it's an aspiration to have. But, you know, aside from those, generally speaking, specifically for what I'm doing right now is like, I would say Radiohead right now is a big inspiration to the sound that I have right now, which is really kind of like an electronic sort of alternative sort of sound, you know, also orchestral. Well, that's another big one that I kind of wanted.
Orchestral?
Yeah, orchestral. Yeah, like
you got strings in the background as well.
Yeah. That, and you know, we talked about the cello thing. I mean, I think it's coming full circle, and I think having an orchestral sound is kind of like the staple. Like, I'm still working on my sound, but I think like definitely that's one big part of what I want my sound to be remembered as and stuff. Like, because I love the orchestra. You know, have you ever been to like any sort of...
Yeah, I just went to the what is it? The Batman concert.
You went to that?
Yeah, I took my kids.
Really?
We went to go see Batman.
Oh,
it was pretty cool.
Dang, it was. Oh, I kept getting ads on Facebook for that. I'm like,
it was really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to go.
It wasn't cheap, but it was.
How much was it?
I mean, I spent like for the tickets that I got, I spent like over $400.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's for how many of you?
It was 4 of us.
4?
Good seats, or
okay.
Yeah, was it balcony or orchestra?
No, it was off from the front row. It was maybe
orchestra seats.
8 rows back or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you had those Bruce Wayne seats.
No, I actually, one day I want to have like, I want to team up. I want to collab with like the Chicago Symphony Orchestra or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Or the New York Philharmonic, and I want them to play like some of my songs, just in orchestral versions of them.
Yeah.
That's another aspiration that I have.
Go like what was that band? The like Rhodes and Glory Box, Portishead.
Yeah.
They had that orchestra in the background.
So Portishead is actually I've gotten to listen to a lot more as well. Because Portishead is really about trip hop, right?
Trip hop.
Yeah, that's another big inspiration behind this song. I'm not behind the song, but I'm talking about like my new sound and this new album.
Trip hop.
Yeah, a lot of trip hop.
I kind of had that vibe.
Yeah, and it's really what probably is even more of an inspiration is the works of Akira Yamaoka, who did the soundtrack for Silent Hill 2. And, you know, the soundtrack of Silent Hill 2 is like regarded, at least in the amongst a lot of gamers, as one of the best soundtracks for video games of all time. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you listen to it, like it's beautiful and it's terrifying at the same time. And, you know, I've listened to this through the soundtrack all together, and like, yeah. And I think that's probably that might be the biggest inspiration sound to everything from this new album that I'm doing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Lots to take inspiration from. I really like that. I like making pretty music, you know, aside from making like you know, more poppy, more dancey stuff, which, I mean, I'd say in general, like a lot of the music that I like to make, at least if we're talking about like in albums, I like variety. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, it comes with some things because like whenever people listen to you, it's like they might just want you to have one specific sound and not be all over the place, which I understand. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't listen to Michael Jackson to do a country song. You know what I mean? So, but that's kind of like the harder things to do as an artist. Like, at what point, like, do you like cut yourself off and like just stick to this specific lane, but be the best at it in that lane? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like I was saying before. I'm still kind of working out like my sound and kind of like seeing where it fits in. But yeah. But aside from that, like I've thought about kind of like making alter egos and stuff to kind of like suit my other kind of sounds. You know what I mean? Like I like house music. So
do you DJ?
Yes and no, a little bit.
You've dabbled.
I have dabbled. I mean, I have done some live streams. I mean, way back when, but I mean, I don't know. I guess what you consider DJing, like being in the club and like with the
just knowing your way around.
Yeah, I mean, I know my way around my DAW and stuff, and I've done live streams before where I kind of like am pulling samples and stuff and kind of looping them together and stuff to do that.
You're a DJ.
Yeah. But it's actually funny that you mentioned that because like back when I first I don't know when this was, maybe like 2019 or so, maybe 2018. My buddy Kyle Conscience, the one who I was doing, video editing for and stuff like that. Me, him, Mark Perez, who's on my latest song. And we would get together at my mom's house in the basement and then just do like these live streams where we would just like we'd play some loops and then Kyle would be like rapping or singing over them and it was actually pretty fun. It was like a live I think I called it the loop-de-loop live stream. Yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, maybe I am a DJ. Yeah. It's another thing I'm gonna like.
It's in your skill set.
Yeah.
Do you
goes good with your name, DJ Swetz?
DJ Swetz.
Yeah.
DJ push and play. What's it called? Do you often stream? Do you stream often when you're besides the game stuff? I know you stream stuff, but do you ever stream often with just the DJing part?
I haven't done it in a while. Even though I've wanted to. For me, it's just like, being able to like, because the way that I like doing it is I like getting samples and then just kind of like having them ready and then just kind of like mixing and matching and looping, doing that for a live stream. But I haven't really had the time as of late to like get those things together and to do that. But I mean, I would like to in the future. But most of what I'm live streaming these days, every now and then, because I'm really focused on my short form content and then like the narrative videos that I'm doing for the album. But whenever I get the chance, I like to do Swetz plays where I just play some games and chill. And then, starting next week and then, maybe once every month, we're going to do the Swetz and Steve show, which, a lot of people are excited for to see return in some form. And yeah, I like doing the Swetz and Steve show too, because it's like just I think really when it comes to like those type of live streams where like it's really dependent, sort I don't know if it's dependent on it, but it's like where you have to like bouncing off of what the comments are saying and stuff. It kind of like it kind of adds like a new element to the stream and stuff, and And you know, a lot of people enjoy some of the crazy stuff that we get into. I mean, obviously, you guys have been on the show before, so you know how it could be.
Yeah.
So as far as my live streaming things going on, those are the main two things that I got going on right now. So, but yeah, going on to what I've really been focused on aside from that is the narrative videos. Which we kind of talked about a little bit already, but those things are interesting to make as well. Do you guys know about what analog horror is? Have you ever watched like the Backrooms?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's like a game, right? Almost?
No, it's the Backrooms is which again,
I thought he said the bathrooms at first.
Oh, the backroom.
Well, that can be a horror in itself.
It's subliminal. You should go, relieve yourself.
Don't they have backroom games?
Yeah, no, yeah. The Backrooms actually is also another big influence. Easter egg. Potential spoiler. The Backrooms is also a very, very prominent things in this new album and the story that's being told. But the Backrooms is basically it's like a creepypasta. I don't know if you probably don't know what a creepypasta is. But it's
creepypasta?
Yeah.
They're like short stories.
Yeah, it's internet shorts.
They're basically like you're familiar with memes, right?
What's up?
You're familiar with a meme is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're basically memes, but they're just like creepy stories.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. So it's basically a meme telling
Yeah, it's just a story. It's a storyline, and it had some
this girl went in the woods one day.
Yeah.
Whatever. That.
Yeah.
And that's what it's
so
called.
The Backrooms is basically because it takes its inspiration from video games. You ever fall through a map of a video game?
Fall through a map? When a glitch?
A glitch. Yeah. But then you fall through and you just fall somewhere else. You glitch out, right?
Thanks a lot, Battlefield. Yes.
But basically, the thing is there are places in our reality, in our world, that if you step on or if you touch or something, you'll glitch out of reality and you'll fall into a different reality. And you fall into the Backrooms reality, which basically is these liminal spaces. You know what liminal spaces are? Mm-mm. Liminal spaces are basic. I'm not trying to make you look bad or
no, I don't. I mean, I'm here to learn. I don't know. Liminal
I just hear Hans laughing and giggling over there. It's come on, Hans, you should have told him about this.
In all fairness, I don't know what liminal spaces are either.
I don't know either.
Liminal.
I know about limited spaces. We have limited space here, but I don't know about liminal.
The liminal spaces are liminal space. You ever work in an office before?
Yeah.
So imagine that office if nobody was in it. It was totally vacant except yourself.
Like a giant office building.
And it just,
or like a hotel.
Yeah. And it just kept going infinitely.
Okay.
That's sort of
when a mirror goes up against another mirror and you just see it extend out all the way. It just
Yeah. Basically.
Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Yeah. So that's basically what a liminal space is. It's this totally empty space, devoid of life, but there are these structures and these things such as couches or chairs or office space that are meant for humans, but there are no humans there, and it just continues infinitely. That's
it's the Upside Down.
I don't know. I never watched Stranger Things, so you'd have to
get out of my house.
I too have never watched Stranger Things.
You've never seen Stranger Things?
I still have yet to see Stranger Things.
It's so good.
I was against it for a while until they convinced me.
Yeah,
and then I saw it and it was good.
I was never against it. So I've watched half the first season, but that's about it. And I've been wanting to watch the rest of it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the way you describe that is what it sounds like for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So the Upside Down. What was your question again about the Backrooms?
No, well, you guys started talking about
explaining
and
it.
So basically, if you fall through this glitched out area, you fall into a liminal space, and then there may be creatures, spooky creatures,
or a gentleman multitasking during the show.
The kids are texting.
You're good. But yeah, so I took a lot of inspiration from that, and I took elements of that and kind of put it into the story of the album as well. And the narrative videos, I remember what we were talking about now. We were talking about the narrative videos that I put out. I put out 2 so far. I basically had to like, so you take this idea of the back rooms and you take like analog horror, which is basically like,
everything you just explained.
Kind of, but I didn't explain analog horror yet.
Okay.
Analog horror is like a lot of popular ones for maybe some of the viewers that know some of them. Gemini Home Entertainment,
Paramount,
Local 58, Paramount.
Well, you started naming. I thought
You're trying to sound smart.
Would Trauma be one of those?
What's that?
Trauma. Toxic Avenger. Kabuki Cop.
I don't
know
so.
what the fuck you guys are talking about.
You don't know Toxic Avenger?
I know Toxic Avenger, but I've never heard of Bukaki Cop.
Kabuki Cop.
I don't know what is going on right now.
I used to watch.
You never heard of Toxic Avengers?
I know about that. Yeah, but everything else is just completely.
Well, because I'm trying to get a reference on analog.
Like when this thing comes out, like there should be a big question mark over my head. Like,
well, maybe after the show, maybe you can kind of look into some of these like and kind of see what I'm talking about firsthand. But it's basically like, you remember like VHS, quality stuff, like how it was like you had like all this, obviously you know what a VHS is and stuff, and like how the quality of VHS
obviously
tapes. Right
for you young viewers out there.
What the fuck?
Obviously I know what VHS is.
Obviously.
Okay. Yeah. All right, continue on with the Bukaki story.
Bukaki Cop. Back to Bukaki Cop.
It's basically a genre of video on YouTube and stuff that basically puts like short, scary videos behind a VHS like filter.
Okay.
Basically, that's the.
There was a movie like that, wasn't there? That like it was called VHS.
Yeah, the movie was. There was VHS. There was something similar to a Blair Witch Project. I think.
Yeah, those are a lot of.
Made it very popular.
When you said analog horror, I thought of like the Oregon Trail. Your kid gets dysentery.
That's why I don't have kids.
Family drowned in the thing, run through the river.
But hey, at least the ox made it.
Yeah. They never said like you're a terrible father at the end of it for putting your children through this.
I think they were just kind of subtly just bringing it up as your kids die slowly.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Oregon Trail is?
Like the actual like.
No, like the game.
Oh, no.
No,
Man,
wow.
You got me.
Because
You got me. Hey.
I mean, is that really an insult to him? Because obviously we know.
Yeah. So obviously we know what it is. Oh,
we're all here to learn and to teach. Okay.
In the early 90s, there was a game called Oregon Trail. I think it was probably late 80s, and we played it.
This is back when there were floppy disks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The really floppy disks.
When the discs were actually floppy.
This is when analog was analog, not what the fuck you're describing. But essentially, your family had to leave to go west to make a better life for themselves. They called it the Oregon Trail.
You're making your way through the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, and so
Based
along
on
the
the
way,
actual-
you gotta get supplies. You gotta fight.
You gotta hunt.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Like, and you had to get through rivers, and your children would get sick. And
You had to fight off the Reds.
yeah, the Cincinnati Reds. It was just always, and there were these little pixelated people that would go around, and they would die. If you didn't take care of them. It was like The Sims.
Oh, okay.
It was like The Sims, but for Oregon Trail. I only wish that they would have like at the end if everybody drowned in the river and whatnot, like the little pixelated bodies floated. that would have taken it to another level.
I've never heard of this before. Wow.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow, that's cool.
It wasn't really cool. It was squirrel.
It was a fun game.
Yeah. It was.
Did you play this on the computer on the PC?
The computer class in grade
Yeah,
school.
it was a floppy disk when we did it.
A floppy disk. Oh,
It was
okay.
a floppy disk.
Yeah, you had to put the floppy disk in, like a really, not like the little hard disk. We're talking about a real floppy disk. It was like a little thin
Where the
motherfucker.
term came from, floppy disk.
Like a flaccid dick, just going right into the thing.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I want to look up some like gameplay of it.
Yeah.
That could be cool. But
That could be cool.
no, yeah.
There actually might be like an updated version.
Oh, really?
I think there is.
It's there's a parody of it called Oregon Trail.
Okay.
And
Wait, what?
so it's based on like a zombie apocalypse type thing. So you're making like the same
Oregon
trip.
Trail. Oh,
Yes.
I thought you said Oregon Trail again.
No,
I'm like,
no.
how's that the fucking parody if it's the
No,
same
it's called
name?
Oregon Trail. It's in like intestines and whatnot. But it's a parody of Oregon Trail, but like
okay.
it's a zombie apocalypse thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sounds kind of like a little bit of
It wasn't
some
a horror.
element.
It wasn't.
No.
hard. It was
There was
more
nothing horror
survival
about it.
type of
Oh,
thing.
okay.
It's definitely something to pass the time with, and I don't think any one of us has probably beaten it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anybody make it to Oregon Trail?
Oregon?
I'm sure somebody has made it to Oregon, but God knows who.
My ox were fucking assholes, dude.
Yeah.
Never made. And then we always had to go back to class.
We all got dysentery. Every time. It was like, dysentery is what got me.
And then you had the dad with the gun, and he just shoot those little white bullets at the squirrels and all that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Shooting bullets at squirrels.
Hey, you had to survive.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, analog horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically take like this idea of the backrooms and then the analog horror. I've had to learn how to make that because that's one of the inspirations behind that's one thing I wanted to do. And I think it's tricky is because I get scared very easily.
Do you really?
Pretty easily, yeah. I mean, if you no, that if you waited a little bit longer than you did it, maybe you would have got it.
She said she's pregnant.
Come on, man! You got a heart attack. Yeah, you really messed up Carlos here.
That's a scary one.
Yeah, but
She
yeah.
wants half.
Oh, damn.
Dang. I gotta close my ears. Like la la la. I'm not here.
Sorry, we keep sidetracking. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is our liminal space.
No,
that we're in right now.
But yeah, so watching this sort of content on YouTube and stuff, I was like, okay, I want to make this. I want to incorporate it in the story, right? So like I was saying before, I feel like I get scared easily. You know, if you watched any of my like Swetz plays or anything like that, you know, if something jumps out of me, like I'm gonna say, oh fuck. Yeah. So
seen that.
It's been really it's really interesting whenever you're that type of person that like gets scared easily, and then you think of like, how do I make something scary? How do I make something like horror filled or something like that? So that's one thing that I've kept in my mind as I've been making these narrative videos, but also having to write the story in the background and kind of convey each video in a way to tell that story, but not like expressly just say it. You know what I mean? I want people to watch these videos in order. I want people to listen to the album and then kind of put the story together. You know what I mean? That's what I want, you know, from all the things that I'm doing. I want people to watch these videos, and like they're like a lot of the times they're very cryptic. Like I have the next one that's coming out is and shout out to Johnny Walker who's lending his vocal talent, but the next one is in Greek. he could speak Greek, so I asked him like, hey, can you do this voiceover for me? And it's like, he's like, sure. So I'm working on that video right now. So I'm being cryptic and stuff and like elusive on purpose, because I want someone to like to stumble upon this and say, oh, what the hell is this? This is really like interesting. I like the mystery behind it and stuff. So that part of, creating this new album and these videos has been the fun part of learning what makes something scary, and then learning how to tell the story in a mysterious way,
So this story that you're telling, does it have an end? Is there an end game to it? Or is it just unraveling and just kind of...
There is an end game to it. But it'll only come to sort of an end, I'd say in like 2 to 3 years, and with 2 or 3 more albums. So I'm like, whenever like we were talking, me and Carlos were talking about it on the way here. It's like I've had to become very organized since I've started making music and stuff like that. Like, and making content, I guess you could say. I've had to become really organized, and part of becoming organized is having to like plan out, like literally having something in front of you with future dates, and then like working on things to lead up to like months or years in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with this album and with this story, it does have a payoff at the end. But it's like it's years in the making, and I think, the sound and what I'm doing right now, I committed to it last year whenever I put out like 2 cover songs of other songs, and I was kind of like, I really want to like go back to making, I want to make an original song. And then with that, wanting to make that original song, I was like, okay, how do I do it, but in a creative way, and put a little bit more intrigue than just one song. So I was like, okay, we can make it an album. Okay, well, how do we make this album, but how do we like really tell a story behind it and not just put out an album? Well, you could do some of these videos and stuff, and it's really just kind of been like a snowball. And I have an idea. The structure of the story is there. The finer details I've just been like writing down and creating as I've been going along, and it's actually pretty like crazy how things have lined up in the creative process of making it. Because I didn't know, and like again, like there are still things that I don't know about how it will end and how it'll play out, and but it's been really cool. Like I really like what I'm doing right now. To keep it short, I really like what I'm doing, and yeah, I think at the end of the day, really, regardless whether it's podcast or whether it's music or whether it's videos or whatever, people like stories. That's something that like across human existence, that knowledge has been passed down, folklore and stuff. There's stories that we tell each other, and that's stories that will go on that long after we're gone. You know what I mean? And so like if stories like will be around longer than any of us will ever be, I mean, that's something like that. If you create one and it can like kind of go down like in long after you're gone, I mean, I think that's something that is worth doing. That's one way of kind of, in not a literal sense obviously, but in a way kind of like becoming immortal sort of a way in the things that you create and the stories that you tell, Right. If you think about it,
especially in today's age, digital and video, cloud and everything like that. I wanted to go back really quick and
sure.
You say you scare easily. May I bring up what you do outside of being
scared? Sure, yeah.
Because you work in a funeral home,
yes.
do you not?
Yeah.
You're like Jonathan Davis from Korn. kind of like working. You know, he worked in a funeral home.
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Before he started with corn, he was like, I don't know if he was a mortician or whatever he did, but he did work at a funeral home.
Yeah.
Did he wear the kilt when he was working?
No, I don't think he did that. But, you know, I think it's weird. You work in you deal in death, you know, right?
Yeah.
Naturally. And, you know, a video game scares you.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd.
You think so?
That's like paradoxical.
You think so?
Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's just kind of like
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing this person, right? And
polarized.
yeah, that they're, you know, their
personality.
They're no longer there.
Yeah.
Do you ever encounter anything a little creepy with all that?
You know, like a lot of people do ask me that a lot of time, and it's just weird because it's like maybe you could say it's just really anything can become normalized if you're around it enough, and
yeah, definitely.
like if you're grown up with it, like not exactly the same sort of scenario thing, but
Say, I'm like, you grew up with corpses?
I mean,
yeah, really, he did.
Oh, really? Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But yeah,
You never came to one of our Christmas parties.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He played at one of them.
Yeah, I played it. Brought the old axe.
But yeah, like kind of like what I was saying before is like how things could be like things that you may not think can become normal to someone, whether it be a circumstance or a living lifestyle or something. Like you know how like when children, like it's maybe it's not a good analogy, but you know how children can learn languages like fairly easily and stuff, and like maybe it's just like if you're a kid and if you're in a particular living scenario circumstance, you don't know any other reality aside from that. You know, you are presented with your parents and stuff. You essentially are presented with that reality, you know, and
Yeah, like sweatshops.
yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
Pun intended.
Sweats.
yeah. So it's like,
Hey,
we should do like some sort of bit. And call it the sweatshop.
yeah, like on your website when you're selling your merch, sweatshop.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah. I'm not giving you any royalties from that.
No, that's fine. This is all just trying to help you out, man. So, hopefully we get enough subscribers to, you know, get our own royalties here.
Asian children are making your T-shirts, though. I know.
Actually, well, maybe I don't know. But yeah, you got me with that one.
I was gonna say something about Taiwan, but I don't want to insult China.
Yeah,
Especially since we're on TikTok. So we
Chinese
overlords there.
our social credit scores might drop.
yeah. No, that's definitely a good idea. I'm definitely gonna do something with that whenever I get my website up. But yeah, so I mean, I get asked that all the time, like anything creepy or anything like that happen, and I always just say like, you know, my particular location where I work out of, like I am not like worried about the dead people there. I am like more so worried about like
The living outside.
the skeptical and, you know, people and some of the crackheads and stuff that are around. I'm worried about them. You know what I mean?
So no, you've never had anything.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
never experienced anything like paranormal or anything like that?
Well, I don't know, man. Like, and that's another interesting thing is because it's like I want a dish to be thrown at me at some point. Like I would love that. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
But like,
I'd be like, nope, I'm good.
Basically something like something happened, something moved, or it's like, oh, okay, whoa, what the hell? But I mean, do doors randomly close?
Really, doors closed?
Well, no. Well, doors closed, but like
No, that's what I mean. But like, I get it. But
Not on their own.
right, like that's what you've seen. Like you felt.
every now and then, yeah, and you know, every now and then a dish falls over or something where it's like I didn't wash them recently, so they're not even wet. So it's like, why are they falling? I mean, but it's like I don't know if it's just like maybe I'm too much of a skeptic to really kind of give it a fair shot, or whether it's just like
Because I'll tell you right now, I live in my house 24/7.
Yeah.
And the doors don't close. Unless I've closed them. Maybe because of the wind and I can figure out a justification for it. But just a random ass door closing, did it slam shut or?
No, not really. It's just kind of like, it's like that, but then maybe it's also like a sound. It's like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? All it to say is
Sounds
like,
could be a little skeptical.
They can be. They can be.
But if a door, something physical like actually like happens without any real justification for it,
Yeah.
you know, that's where I start.
Yeah, that's where I shit my pants.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if something were like that to happen, I don't think I would be scared.
Well, because you're always around it, though.
And you know, that's the thing. That's what I think my experience is probably, I guess you could say, ruined, because like I've been around it so much, and it's like, and a lot of people that like have said like, yeah, you're around like energies and stuff like that of
essentially
of the deceased and stuff like that, and like, you know, I'm not saying that they're wrong or anything, but it's just like even
if I'm around energy, then obviously this battery's dead.
But like, yeah, like if I would agree, you know, I'm not that much of a skeptic to where it's like, oh no, they don't exist, you know, whatever. But it's just, I'm just saying that like it takes a lot for me to kind of like take a step back and like, whoa.
Have you ever had that moment?
No, I haven't had it yet, to be honest. I mean, and I don't know. I feel like if I did, I would remember it distinctly.
Yeah.
Like how I remember a lot of things in my life, you know, that, you know, things that are like, I guess you could say special or unique or something like that. You're going to remember them. You know what I mean? Or significant. You can remember them. But it's just, I don't have a singular point to look back at my memory and say, oh, remember that?
No.
So it's interesting. My relationship and my thoughts to like the sort of paranormal thing are kind of weird. But I mean, I'm intrigued by it, you know what I mean? I'm intrigued by it. And like, yeah, I want a dish to be thrown at me, but not hit me. I was like, okay, you made your point. You made your point. Maybe not a dish. Maybe just like a.
Careful what you wish.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe like
maybe a rolled up sock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you ever?
That might be a better option for you.
Have you ever like started like prepping a body, and then it just suddenly jumps up? He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
No,
I was just sleeping, man. What the fuck? Why am I naked?
Yeah, it's things like that. It's like, because every now and then, like, I don't know any specifically offhand, but I've run across a couple articles that like talk about people who were at the morgue that were accidentally pronounced dead and they're still alive. And I think Edgar Allan Poe his poem was like Inside the Room Morgue, which basically was a poem about that horror, about being like, proclaimed dead, but you're not dead, and being buried alive or something like that. And that stuff is pretty interesting because like,
it's fucking terrifying. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They used to have like
You sons of bitches, I'm fucking alive.
I heard somewhere about like there was some practices back in the day where, because they would have that fear that people would be buried alive. Yeah. They would attach like a string to a bell.
Yeah. That's actually I think it's the Buddhists that would self-mummify. That would like to ultimately transcend themselves. They would have to like, there's this guy on YouTube. His name is what's his name? I forget what his name is, but he basically talked about that, how some Buddhists would like attempt. There's only been a handful of attempts in history where these Buddhists would try to self-mummify themselves and bury themselves, and there was this whole process of in order to achieve their enlightenment and stuff. But they would have like a little bell that would like they'd have to ring every day to see if the other monks would know that they're still alive. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. And like they would have to do so much in order to like it. I'm trying to think of like the YouTuber's name where people could watch about it, but it was really interesting. But I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, about that. And, that's pretty crazy, man, because you're inside of us is like a will to live, that's like fight or flight. That's like, so it's like in order to like fight against that, you have to fight against every single fiber of your being, of your nature. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. Yeah. Which is crazy from like, that certain people have been able to do that in history. Not very many were able to like, I don't know, like if the goal was to like eventually just like slowly die and learn to, because a lot of what Buddhism is about is like learning to like to reject the self and to like I don't know specifically, but I know that's a big part of it. But yeah, man, that's always been a really weird and horrific thing to think about. If you were to get buried alive. You ever see that Ryan Reynolds movies?
Where he's a contractor in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Is it buried? Yeah,
but I never saw the ending of it. I don't know if he ever got out. Literally, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, do you want a spoiler? No. I don't know if anybody watched it, but
He doesn't get out, right?
I never watched it either.
Damn, I'm gonna watch that movie now.
I remember seeing it. I don't think he got out. I think he was in there. Like, that's it.
Dang.
He needed a bell.
It was still. Yeah. But yeah, and I think there was a video I had seen a while ago, like it was in China, where they already had the guy or whoever bagged up, and like they were shaking out of it and trying to get the hell out of it. It's like, oh man, that's
fuck up. I can still hear his voice to this day.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of my experiences and circumstances are unique, and I think it's I think it has everything to do with like what my like what the story is about, and and how I write lyrics and what I write lyrics about, because I am no stranger to death, man. I mean, that is the bottom line, and it's like yeah, it's it gives you, it definitely, obviously it gives you a neat, unique perspective on life itself. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think for a while, I mean, I like to consider myself a spiritual person, a philosophical person, and being around that sort of thing definitely kind of lends itself to like that sort of thought and stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's still it's a lot of the thinking, a lot of the philosophy, and a lot of the spiritualities like leads to no answers. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people seek out religion and stuff like that, because they want to have that security and whatnot and stuff. It's just that a lot of like I've always thought like thousands and thousands of years, great men and women that have like put like with brilliant minds have put their minds and their thoughts to like the greatest existential questions of our existence. And I mean, it's still kind of like, it's still unsure. You know what I mean? A lot of questions and not really like any answers and stuff like that. And it's I mean, regardless, amongst even if not having any answers, like kind of like making up your own answers like can be just as can be fulfilling to a certain extent. I mean, I love my family, I love spending time with my family, and loved ones and stuff, and those like I do get a great sense of joy and fulfillment from being around family and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And death has very has a very interesting way of making you see life, for sure. I would say that. Yeah, it's getting really quiet. It's really dead in here.
I was gonna jump into anal warts, but
I did have one question for you though.
Yeah, sure.
I am often curious, like how people get into their careers. Like, what made you decide to like be a mortician?
My dad started it. You know, he owns the business and stuff, and you know, I've been around it my entire life, and you know, I like being around my dad and stuff and work with them, and you know, here's an opportunity that I was presented with. So you know, I didn't fully decide because I went to school for it and I'm licensed for it and stuff like that. But I didn't jump into it right away. I had another job being a shipping clerk before I was fully involved with my dad in the business and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I like helping my dad, you know, because like he's a very busy man. He's a very busy man with a lot on his plate, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does what he does because like it's a lot of work. And now it's not just one place. It's like several places now that he has to like look over and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, being a part of it, and being able to help him is like where I really kind of get my sense of fulfillment, I guess you could say, with the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, what my thing is like my music and my art and, you know, everything I do with like Swetz related, you know, that's what like my real passion is about, you know, because I created it, you know, there's that, you know, that has everything to do with like, it's like a life unto its own. You know what I mean? It's like, you know,
it's your baby.
Yeah. You know, but not an actual baby. But
obviously,
you know, Swetz doesn't call crying, and you know, at 3 a.m., you know, wanting some milk or something like that.
Well, it might chuck a plate at you.
Yeah, but
or a rolled up sack.
I just feel like that's a safer play for what you want.
No, that is. You're right.
Preferably a clean one.
Yeah, but I'm really liking what I'm doing right now, and you know, I think something that I wanted to mention before was, you know, we were talking about how my glasses, you know, it can turn some people off, and you know, some of the meaning behind it, but I think I really like the yin and yang. The yin and yang, which is the Tao, which is the way. And it's like, I really like that, the symbolism behind that. And I think it wasn't a part of its initial creation when I decided how I was going to look and what I was going to wear and the glasses and stuff. But, you know, a lot of me wearing the glasses has to do with that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it you know, in order, let's say the order is the white yang, or I don't know which one is the yin and which one's the yang, but I know there's a white one and black one. But inside of order, there's a foot. Chaos has a foot inside of order. Inside of chaos, order has its foot in as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So and you know, that's something that like I've always liked, that symbolism and that philosophy sort of thing, and it's really kind of like it over time has like my glasses have kind of been have come to like be a little bit of an embodiment of that symbol. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. I think people kind of get, because if they see the Swetz and Steve show, or if they see kind of like, if they see Clean Boy, where it's like very funny and it's like very like not serious and stuff, I feel like a lot of people get thrown off of how like philosophical I can be at times. But I mean, I think
I'll admit this is a side I haven't seen of you because I am familiar with you on Swetz and Steve.
Yeah.
I am familiar with your music, obviously, but like, what's it called? Like the deeper meaning behind it, like, you know.
Yeah.
Outside of like whatever clips you put out there about what's it called? The explanations. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of like how like comedians, if they go on to do other things, like I don't know which one is Key and which one is Peele, but if you take
Always confuse those two.
yeah, but if you take, you know, they're both like funny guys, but if you take the one guy who went on to direct a lot of these horror, Peele, if you take like just look at what he's done ever since doing that show, it's like he can make like really like deep, meaningful, and like kind of like films and art and stuff like that. And it's really interesting how.
I don't know if you saw Up.
What?
Up.
Was it Up?
Up.
Was it Up? The one with the alien, the alien,
Yeah,
the ship.
Yeah. Well,
Nope. It was Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
You didn't like Nope?
I like the trailers, but like for what it was in the end, the payoff wasn't there for me.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something more, and it was just a big old fucking kite.
It was an alien. It was an alien.
The Chinese,
but
Chinese spy balloon.
The funny thing is, like, that was supposed to, the way he made it look, it was supposed to look like
A ship, a spaceship.
No, he wanted it to look like what angels were described as in like the Book of Enoch and old books of the Bible.
Cool.
That's what he wanted to look. That when he decided what the thing was going to look like, that's what he wanted.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
dude, angels have a very different description when you go.
Dude,
read
yeah, they're fucking creepy looking.
Yeah. That's
Trippy or trippy looking, depending on how you look at it.
yeah.
To me, it's more trippy.
To me, it's creepy. When you see bunch of eyes, in the
bunch of eyes and like weird ass tentacles.
yeah, and then it's like these like Dyson balls and all that, like these little.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah.
When you say that, but still, even the way it kind of paced itself, and
I will say the scariest, like creepiest part of it was the monkey part, where like the monkey went berserk.
That was
like I was like legitimately like, oh,
yeah,
it's scary.
Monkeys will do that to you.
Yeah.
They'll chuck a plate at your head. They'll be in the room.
Have you seen Planet of the Apes?
I have.
VHS. We've seen it on
They
VHS.
chucked a lot more than on VHS. They chucked a lot more than plates, man.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen a mangled person after they got bit by a monkey?
Yeah, there's and that was based on an actual person.
Yeah.
There was a female star who got mauled by a chimpanzee or something.
Dude.
There was one lady a few years back, maybe a decade or two ago. She got mauled. She put her hand in the cage and fucking thing ripped off her finger. Got out the cage and ripped up her face. And now she just looks like it was just bad.
They're pretty vicious animals, man.
I don't know why anybody would want to have one as a pet.
Like if you ever see them in the wild, like their social order, like they have literally, to maintain social order, they've literally ripped off fucking genitals. They will go so far as to rip off genitals, or they'll just like fucking gang stomp one. Like
Dang. Yeah, I've never really liked monkeys. I don't know why, but maybe now it's all starting to make sense now.
Have you ever seen them? Like, they're chiseled, they're jacked.
yeah, they are.
Dude, don't that fur is a throw off. Like underneath, they look like they're on some roids
I
or
would
something.
freak out. I'd rather fight a bear. I'd rather fight a
I
bear.
don't know, really.
Bear or chimpanzee, full grown male.
Fight the chimp, bro.
No way.
Depends on the type of bear.
The
If
bears,
it's a grizzly, you're dying for sure.
well, the chimps don't have claws.
No, but they have vicious. Like, they could rip your balls.
they
off.
could.
The bear could do it too. You could bite your balls off.
Yeah, but I feel like that's not the first thing
There's
he's
that
going
myth.
for. Like,
I don't know.
like-
I don't know if it's a myth, but I've heard plenty of times that chimps can literally knock your head off of your shoulders.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, that's
They're,
crazy. You know
they
what
are
strength that is?
incredibly strong.
Holy crap.
Yeah, with a bear, it's just blind. I need to eat. You know, and yeah, they're a little pissed off. But with monkeys, it's personal. It becomes personal. Like they'll They'll figure out a way.
More thought into.
They just look at you and you're like, I don't know what's with you, but fuck it.
They're a little more conscious, right?
They're more conscious. But they have a social order. Bears don't have a social order.
Do they? Mm-hmm. Well, no, they're more lone creatures, right?
Yeah.
Outside of,
you're talking.
taking care of
cubs, they're gang stomping people, ripping off balls. That's an intentional move. Yeah. and then leaving that fucking chimp to like, hey, now you don't got balls, bitch.
Ballless.
Where's a bear?
Ballless chimp.
Yeah.
How are you gonna be the alpha without any fucking balls, bitch?
Yeah, it's bear for me, dude.
Really?
Bear for me.
I mean, it's also like they have opposable thumbs, right?
Yeah. And feet. Like,
Yeah, they're.
Oh dang! So their feet and their hands are no different.
Yeah,
they can
pretty
work them
much.
bitches like the same.
Yeah. So when they grab your eyes and they're fucking jamming their thumbs in there, their feet are like at your nutsack and they're ripping it out. And they're trying to.
The last thing you've seen, you got to see was their balls right before they ripped their eyes out.
They're fucking playing analog with your fucking skull.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I still feel like I would take the chimp though. I mean, because it's. I mean, you can give the chimp like the chimp's are obviously gonna be smarter. Obviously, and they have the.
Are you saying you're not as smart as the chimp?
What?
You said the chimp's going to be smarter?
The chimp's gonna be smarter than a bear? Hell yeah!
Okay, I thought you were referring to you. I was like, you're not giving yourself a lot of credit.
Yeah. No, I feel like I would still take the chimp. I mean, look, man, I know they're strong and stuff, but that bear is like, did you see Cocaine Bear?
Oh, I've been wanting to see that. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna see it tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll just take the chimp rather than the bear. What about you, George?
I don't know. It depends on the bear. Like if it's a grizzly, you're gonna die for sure. But a chimp they're scary. I know where I know where you're coming from, Carlos. They are. That is terrifying.
I'd rather die than be left mangled.
Self-conscious, self-aware.
Plus, if you have a nice, maybe you have let's just say with a shotgun. If you have a little buckshot in there,
No.
The monkey would go down.
Chimp straight up. Yeah, if I had a shotgun, I'm shooting the bear in the head, and it's over. Of course, I'll take either one of them, and it's
But if
a
you
wrap.
shoot his fat and you miss like the head or whatever, maybe it'll still come out.
The point is this: you go hand to hand with that. That monkey is going to leave you maimed and mangled, and you're a story on the national news. Whereas a bear, I'm his lunch, and that's it. I'm done. I can't go through that whole process of looking.
But you have more of a fight with the chimp than you do with the bear.
No way, dude. No.
Have you seen The Revenant?
Dude, have you seen how jacked they get? They look like. They're just.
Remember we talked about this before on the Swetz Stew show, and then she mentioned jaguar. You see kangaroos?
Kangaroos are those guys are jacked too. They got those claws for thumbs.
Yeah.
And then they get right into your stomach and rip you right open if they get one in you.
And then you see that one video that we were looking at where he just ran up he was attacking his dog, and then he just ran up and cracked him in the jaw. He just took it. He's like, what do I do now? Did I lose?
But a monkey gets real personal, man.
Oh, no.
The monkey's going to be like.
He's going to go for your balls.
If that was
straight for your balls.
If that kangaroo was
Give him
a
the
monkey,
old dick twist.
Twist the dick.
Twist that dick. That's what all the other monkeys are yelling. Twist that dick.
if that monkey was a kangaroo, I guarantee you the dog and the owner would have been dead.
Really?
Hell yeah. You don't think so? You saw that video, right?
If the kangaroo was a monkey?
Yeah.
Oh.
A full-grown male chimp.
I don't know if you could run up on a monkey like that. They do something to I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a wrap.
They're tricky little bastards. There's more information in there for sure.
Yeah.
They play
like
with
dolphins. Dolphins too. They're fucking terrifying. They'll rape anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They'll rape anything.
Really?
Yeah, that and penguins too.
Do they have a penis? Do they?
Oh,
they got dicks.
They have
Do they
sex
have
for
it hidden
pleasure.
in the sheath or something like that?
I don't know, man, but they got dicks.
And they have.
How do you know? How do you know if they have dicks if you've never seen it before?
George got raped.
Is there a bad experience at SeaWorld or something? You found it with a kid?
No, but you hear about it. You read about it.
I've never heard of a dolphin raping anybody.
Dolphin-
They tried.
Oh, yeah.
They tried.
Supposedly
they'll mount
dolphins.
a woman
Yeah.
and try to bang her.
That part I didn't know. I do know that they
I've seen
do
a
have
video.
sex for pleasure, and they do
They rape for pleasure.
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
There'll be like maybe a group of 2 or 3 male dolphins, and they'll isolate a woman, a female dolphin, and then they'll fucking rape her and take their turns with her and keep her there and fucking all sorts of shit. That's fucked up. That's like a notch down from.
We don't promote.
I mean, a notch up from.
We don't promote.
For the record, please.
We don't promote that type of behavior in the dolphin world here in the podcast.
We're terrified of that behavior. Is what we're trying to say.
We're just calling out the facts here, people. We're just calling out the facts.
Wow.
Monkeys are just a notch down from dolphins, man. That's all I'm saying.
I've watched one monkey give another monkey a blowjob.
When?
No, it was not.
Videos you watching, Carlos?
He was the monkey.
No, it was a reel that I saw. IG, I think.
No, there was
They
another.
have that on Reel?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they probably because it's animals.
Dude, there was another one where this dad took his daughter to see, to some zoo.
Yeah.
And there was a monkey on top of a pole. And it looks so ominous, dude. The monkey, there's like birds flying around, and the monkey grabbed the bird, and he started just smashing the bird on the pole. And the daughter's crying. The dad's like, don't look. And it literally just murdering for no reason.
He's pissed off.
Yeah.
He's like, you're next, bitch.
A bear won't do that.
True.
A bear will just, they'll bite to kill, and then they'll eat you. You'll be dead and eaten. Whereas a monkey might take their time with you and toy around with you.
You're going to get maimed. You'll end up on the news.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not
Become
disagreeing.
a T-shirt or a meme if you're Harambe.
I don't think we're going to
I guess
Let's just agree to disagree.
I guess I was just more so along the lines of like, what is your better chance of survival?
The bear.
Really?
The bear, yeah.
I don't know if it's a better chance of
You're not outrunning it. That's for sure.
No. Let's take it. Yeah, I think you're right.
For sure.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't want to survive the monkey attack because I'm going to look like an inflated balloon after
The lady from Nope, she was actually there.
that was just
She
being
looked like an acid victim.
Yeah.
but she was at least tolerable to look at.
Half of her face.
Yeah, but like I mean, other people
Wasn't
they
that
look
the
like
real girl, the real woman?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they
I want
would.
to say it was.
But like you're not gonna look the same.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And I don't want to be in
gouged
that.
out.
I don't want to like. No, I'd rather.
Can you imagine getting your eyes gouged out? And you really need those.
I don't want to
glasses.
imagine that.
No, that person got mangled. That one person got mangled so bad that they have to wear a mask from now on because they fucking.
Yeah.
Wow.
So bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Like that dude from Boardwalk Empire.
Even worse than that. That's just a mild appearance. I'd take that guy any day of the week.
Yeah.
Really?
Without the mask. He could. I'm telling you, don't take the chimp.
That was a badass character, though.
He was a badass character.
You're talking about Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah, Boardwalk
seen
Empire.
it?
The sniper.
It's funny how he had one eye and yet he had incredible depth perception.
Especially in the what's it called, the shootout.
Yeah. Fucking bam bam.
Maybe it's like when if you go blind, your sense of hearing gets amplified.
Yeah, but your depth if I put a patch on my eye, eventually I'm gonna miss the chair that I'm gonna sit on. This guy's getting dead shots everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll have to. I never watched the show. My brother's watching it right now, but I'll have to look this up and see what you guys are talking about.
It's a really good show.
It is a very good show.
Yeah.
So you start to question the physics of that character.
Man, we went off on tangents, man.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah.
There's not a lot of philosophy on this show.
Yeah, we're very.
So it's a lot of hypotheticals.
Everything's at face value here.
Yeah, it's
a
not.
lot of hypotheticals, a lot of dick jokes.
That's cool. Yeah. Because I mean, it's like. It's like
We're trash TV.
No, I mean it's like, yeah, I would say that I can appreciate a deep philosophical talk just as much as like just hanging around and just
banter.
telling jokes. Yeah, I mean because what I was trying to say before, it's like, and we were talking about Peel, like, and how a lot of the times it's the people who are seen as the most comical or funny, like in reality in a lot of ways they can have like a better understanding and perception of like life itself. You know what I mean? And like, because I think it's like comedy itself. You have to have like a somewhat of an understanding in reality to actually make something funny.
Yeah, I think it takes a special kind of person just trying to find the funny in everything, as dark as it could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
we get in trouble for that.
And then it kind of goes hand in hand then at that point.
Yeah, we get in trouble for that. We're saying something that people don't think should be funny and we try to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Well, like dolphin rape?
Dolphin rape, other things we won't go into. People have taken offense.
People have taken offense from what you talked about in the show?
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely. Yeah. It was irrelevant.
Was it like comments or something like that?
Yeah, it was something we made about a joke for what was going on at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got mad.
Yeah, how'd you handle it? How do you handle criticism for the SOS podcast?
Make more jokes.
Make more jokes. Make more jokes. Double down.
Wow.
Yeah. We love comedy, man. We just
yeah.
and I guess a lot of that stems from just the fact that when we started this thing, we just wanted to be we want to have more comedians on.
Yeah.
Right? We're just here to have a fucking good time. We're not here to.
Oh yeah.
For anybody looking to watch our show, like for any real political, like we would give our thoughts on politics and whatever.
Yeah.
That didn't really work out. We were just trying to find our footing of what made sense and everything, right? And
so that's year one.
I think one time I said like one of the female judge, what's her name that passed away?
RBG.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I said that she should have stepped down so that somebody could step in and keep the momentum going for whatever political cause, right? Somebody in the chat started getting all pissed off. Would you say this person should step down? It's like, forget it.
Like fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off already. This is enough. Yeah. That was one thing. Then there was another, and there's just like, don't watch our show if you're looking for some insight on anything, great insight.
Except if you're looking for whether or not if a bear or a monkey will fuck you up the most.
Yeah, I mean we're giving tools for life here.
This is a great example. I think we had one episode where there was school shootings going around.
Yeah.
And we were discussing about whether or not taking these young individuals who are just, you could tell that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Taking them to go get laid somewhere. Yeah. Whether that'll solve the situation before anything drastic.
Because it would.
Because it would.
It would.
It would, dude.
If those kids were getting laid, they may not be so aggressive.
That's,
you take the aggression out, like, nobody fucking likes me. Let's take you to a hooker. She'll like you for a little bit.
You know what?
You get your dick sucked or whatever your yaya played with, whatever that is for you. Right? And, there you go. And then they might, I don't need the gun anymore.
No, I think
I got in trouble for, what's it called? Playing devil's advocate about, for defunding the police. It was after that incident down south where the police officers kind of hang back when there was an active shooter situation going on.
Yeah.
I forgot what place it was, but I said that situation made the argument against defund the police that much harder. And somebody took it as like, oh, I just want to defund the police, and all the crap. And I'm like, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
Sex work should be legal.
You know what, man? Honestly, I mean, like,
there'd be a lot less pissed off people out there.
Also, priests shouldn't be celibate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with the trash in the ocean to prevent the dolphins from raping.
Let's just keep throwing the trash in there.
Yeah.
Every time spring rolls around, and my allergies start acting up, it's another argument for global warming. I'm sorry.
Will there be collateral damage? Probably.
But
fuck those dolphins.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, I think there was
monsters.
I forget where I had seen it, but it's a weird conversation. I think it's definitely something that, like, in the years to come, especially for future generations, and especially if you're planning on having children, especially if they're gonna be men, is like a large percentage of like newer generations, they're like not having sex. And it's like, about like, incels and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's actually like a legitimate problem. It's like, and a lot of the thing is like, you could just be like, oh, just, You know, you could all be about like
take it to Vegas.
I honestly, dude, like yeah, like and like no Columbia. Joke. I like honestly, I think that could like because I think it's only gonna get more like it's only gonna. Unfortunately, I feel it's gonna be more of a problem going into like future generations and stuff like that. Like where you have a lot of men that are not like getting that and like the ramification. I don't think people take it too seriously right now because like it's kind of like a joke that's laughed at. But a lot of it, like I think in the future, I think it's gonna be a legitimate sort of thing.
They need to blow their loads.
They need to go blow their loads. It's funny right now, but it's like honestly, like I mean, you may have a point with that. Honestly,
it sounds crude, and you know when I say it, obviously it's very insensitive.
We don't mean to be crude. We're just trying to offer a solution.
We're not the crude person doing the heinous act. We're just offering a solution that crude. You know,
as people who are getting laid in this room, we can tell you.
But we don't have any of those sort of thoughts. Schools or
the therapy should be positive affirmations followed by some type of oral sex. That's what it should be.
That's a clip right there.
Yeah. A lot of good solutions here. A lot of good solutions here, though.
Hey, we're problem solvers.
That's good. Problem solution. That's like
one trash fire at a time.
Yeah.
That's why we're straight to VHS.
Yeah.
Analog for life.
Well, I actually like wanted to ask you guys, like, you know, because it's been a while, but like, I mean, obviously you guys have taken the podcast pretty far and stuff. Like, what's like, what's like another like interesting like experience or story that you've had doing the podcast before?
I really do like us switching over to like interviewing guests and like talking to guests instead of just being in our own.
Yeah, four dickheads talking about shit that they have no business talking about.
Exactly. I mean, it was okay for a while, but like again, opinions are like assholes, so everyone's got them. So
yeah,
it's just nice and kind of refreshing to get a different perspective.
Yeah. Whoever
comes on our show. So
yeah, I'd rather be educated than talking to people about, you know, something.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I don't have a lot of input on.
What's been your guys' favorite guest?
Well, Swetz, obviously. No, actually, you know, it's been a lot of fun talking to you here today.
Yeah, it has.
Aside
from
you. I've missed a couple of episodes, so I wouldn't know everybody because we had a female comedian on who I wish I would have been able to have been a part of that. That would have been fun. Shout out to Nana Rodriguez. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. Favorite guest? I don't know. I'm not going to say a favorite one because I don't want to. They're all good in their own way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Although. No.
Yeah, I'm going to say it.
No, it's just the one who had some really interesting stories to tell, like that I enjoyed was Louis Barak. Shout out to Louis Barak. Yeah. Like his story of like what he went through as an artist, having a heroin addiction, things like that. You know, he went through some stuff, man. So he had some really dark stories to tell, and what it was like growing up Jewish and
great storytelling.
Yeah, it was really, really good, man. So, we've had a lot of good artists on here, man. Like a lot of good different types of people. That's what I like about the show is the
variety. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had, you know, somebody who's OnlyFans model. We've had comedians. Yeah, we've had
3 gentlemen who were in a band.
Yeah.
Machine.
They had somebody who was a far political right person, you know, and moved James left.
Killen.
Yeah, and then we had we just recently had on Tiger Balm was really good.
Yeah.
You know, and all the charity work that he's doing. So, you know, I think at the end of the day is what we want to strive for is just learning something from somebody learning something from everybody.
Yeah.
And just having all these different people on to tell their story and us ask questions and have them answered to some capacity and yeah, and make fun of certain things without being too serious about it.
Make light of situations.
To the messages you're sending in your music is, you know, that's our outlet here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, and so, you know, there's a lot of fucked up shit out there. So why do we?
Favorite quote of all time is "Comedy makes the best," or "Tragedy makes the best." Tragedy makes the best comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever I had just transferred over to you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I agree with that. That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Hopefully, we can have you again here soon.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Where can people check you out? You know, plug anything you need to plug in.
Well, most of my handles on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook are at Swetz Music, all lowercase.
Swetz with the Z at the end.
Swetz with the Z at the end. Yes, SWETZ, not SWEATZ. Which a lot of people have been asking me lately. How do you spell it? And it's like, I was always sort of ambivalent about it whenever I first created Swetz. But now it's SWETZ, you know, it's whatever. But that's where you can find me mostly. And what you'll find on there is, you know, my music visualizers for the new singles off the album. The album is called While I'm Asleep, by the way. And it's gonna come out around October. And it'll be a full release, so you'll be able to actually buy it, the physical thing, and you know, with some other t-shirts and stuff.
You actually have a physical copy?
Yeah.
Wonder if we should put one up right there.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I gotta sidetrack.
And then I'll have to.
So we gotta put up there.
I'll have to get you. I'll have to get you your free shirt.
Yeah, and I got plenty of ideas for no royalties.
That's the only royalty he wants is his free shirt.
You'll be a billionaire. I got the shirt.
But yeah, at Swetz Music, I'm pretty much everywhere. Like I was saying before, what you'll find is this music visualizers. You'll see the narrative content for the album. You'll see a whole bunch of, you know, shorts, reels, and TikToks as well that I make for the songs as well. And then aside from that, you could find them on my YouTube page. I'm doing Swetz Plays. I do it every now and then. I don't really have a set schedule, but sometimes I just like to chill and play some games and, you know, just hang out and with my peeps and stuff like that. And then aside from that, the Swetz and Steve show is coming back this Thursday at 8:30, and we're gonna make it a once a month sort of thing. And you know, it's always a good time over there, and you know, just hanging out and just talking about stuff like we're doing here. And yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to keep going with what I'm doing, and it's turning out pretty good. And yeah,
welcome back, Steve, by the way.
Yeah.
I know part of the reason why there was a hiatus is because Steve had to just finish some stuff in person.
Yes. Did you see the video that I had edited for him of him walking across the stage?
Yeah, he got his masters. It's a big
deal.
Yeah,
I know that. I know he got his masters recently. I saw the stage walking video. I don't remember. No, I didn't see the stage walking video. I saw him when he was hugging his kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so he's really excited to be back too, and yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun, and yeah, I thank you guys for having me on here. I'd definitely like to come back and just talk more about the whole chimp versus bear thing and seeing what other sort of crazy stuff we could conversate about. Yeah,
we'll try to get you on the right side of the conversation.
Yeah, we'll get you on it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. What track number was this? Because I didn't lead in with that one.
25?
26, yeah. 26.
Track number 26. And you can check us out, SOS Podcast 4 on Instagram. I'm Arkham2442.
Unicorn in human form.
Hans Bortansky everywhere except for Truth or Parlor.
Sorry, that was the unicorn in human form.
And then there's also Wooby SOS. You could always check him out too. He's not here with us today.
This is all on IG, by the way.
Yeah, it's all on IG. Outside of the interruptions, we'll see you guys next time.